Thank you for watching this video tutorial on installing BitCurator. BitCurator is distributed two ways, as a virtual machine run in Virtualbox, and as a live ISO if you want to run it on a dedicated host machine. This video will cover installing BitCurator as a virtual machine. A virtual machine is an operating system running within your operating system. The virtual machine has its own applications and software. The BitCurator virtual machine includes BitCurator software and tools along with other applications like a browser. You also need to download the Virtualbox extension pack in order to use USB 2.0 or 3.0 among other features. We will go through how to download the BitCurator virtual machine, Virtualbox, and the extension pack in this video. Before installing, make sure that your desktop or laptop hardware meet the following requirements. Keep in mind that these are the minimum requirements. Both Virtualbox and BitCurator will run faster if your computer has more free RAM and hard disk space than is listed here. If your computer is at or close to the minimum requirements, it is recommended that you back up and delete unneeded files. The web pages with the installation links are linked below the video and are listed here. We will install the BitCurator virtual machine first. From the installation page on the BitCurator wiki, click on Getting Started with the Virtual Machine. Note that the hardware requirements are also listed on this page. Click on the GitHub link for BitCurator Virtual Machine. Before installing, take note of a couple of additional items on the page. Under Current Release are the default username and password. Take note of these or bookmark the site, as you may need this information in the future. You can change the password later if you wish. Further down the page is the BitCurator Quick Start Guide. This is recommended for procedural instructions for tools within BitCurator and can help with troubleshooting. Now let's download BitCurator. The most recent release is at the top of the page. The download will take several minutes depending on your internet speed. Next, to install Virtualbox, go back to the installation page on the BitCurator wiki. Click on the link next to Current Release of Virtualbox. Again, the most recent release will be at the top of the page. Select your operating system from the list. The last install is the Virtualbox extension pack, which is located further down the page. Scroll down and click on All Supported Platforms. All of the files are in my Downloads folder. First, extract the virtual machine. The file ends in .tar.gz. If you're using Linux or Mac, double-click to begin extracting. If you are running Windows, you may need to download a third-party utility in order to extract the files, such as 7-zip, which is linked below the video. For more detailed instructions on extracting files in Windows, please consult the BitCurator Quick Start Guide. Once the BitCurator files are extracted, you will have a file that ends in .vbox and another file that ends in .vdi. Copy the files to a location that you will remember, such as the Applications folder. You'll need to access this directory in order to add the virtual machine. Next, install Virtualbox by double-clicking on the file. Install Virtualbox as you would any other application on your computer. Lastly, install the Virtualbox extension pack. Click Install, and then scroll down, read the licensing agreements, and press I agree. Open Virtualbox first. If you're using a Windows operating system, you may need to right-click on Virtualbox and select Run as Administrator to enable USB functionality. First, you need to add the virtual machine. You'll notice that BitCurator is added automatically in Virtualbox. However, if it does not appear, go to the menu bar, click on Machine, and then Add. Navigate to the folder that contains the VBox file. In this case, it was my Applications folder. Select BitCurator and find the file that ends in .vbox. Click it and then click Open. BitCurator will appear in the list of virtual machines on the left of the screen. Next, click on the Settings icon, then on System in the top menu. The Motherboard tab is selected by default. You will see a colored bar called Base Memory. This is where you can adjust the RAM and number of processors that Virtualbox will use. At least 4,096 megabytes of RAM are recommended. If your computer is currently using a lot of RAM, as mine is, you will see more red and orange instead of green. This means there is less RAM for BitCurator to run. Adjust the levels as needed. More available RAM will help BitCurator run smoother. Next, click on the Processors tab. 2 processors are needed for drag and drop. Next, we need to make sure that USB device capture is set up properly. If you are using a Mac, click on the Ports icon in the menu at the top. If you're running Windows, click on Settings and select USB from the menu. Under USB device filters, make sure that the box next to all USB devices is checked. If there is no filter, create one by selecting the button next to USB 3.0 and clicking on the blue icon to the right of the screen. If you want to set up a shared folder so that you can move files from BitCurator back to your host machine, watch the shared folder video linked below. Otherwise, start BitCurator by double-clicking on it or click the green start arrow at the top. If you are asked to log in, the account name and password are bcadmin, one word, in lowercase, as noted on the GitHub page. Press Enter if a menu screen appears. BitCurator may take a couple of minutes to fully boot. If BitCurator successfully boots, the screen will look like this. For more information on BitCurator tools, please watch our other videos or consult the BitCurator Quick Start Guide. Thanks for watching.